But why do you think there aren't some arenas that we've kind of held on to? How do you think that happened?
Well, I would say, first of all, that part of why I wrote Defeating Big Government Socialism was to make the case that you have to win the core argument about values. You can't just win a surface argument about performance. And I would say that the number one characteristic on their side has been a willingness to ruthlessly organize and to apply power. So if you have the wrong ideas as a professor, they actively work to drive you out of school. If you have the wrong values in Hollywood, they try very hard not to let you survive. I mean, it's really interesting if you think about it. Clint Eastwood has survived. Kurt Russell survived. There are people who've done pretty well, but they're isolated. And part of the difference, I was told one time by, I think it was by Kurt Russell, that liberals like to get together. And so they like to be in a room where they all have the same values, basically sing the same songs, have the same chants. He said, by definition, Hollywood conservatives are the people who don't want to go to a meeting. So it's really hard to organize Hollywood conservatives because they define themselves as the people who don't go to meetings. And so you have these very strong individuals, but they're surrounded in a sea of sort of lemmings where they all have to believe in the same thing and be comforted by each other. Now, there's a great test underway right this minute. The head of Disney is clearly crazy and a left-wing woke person. And she's trying to carry Disney down a road of brainwashing the American people. Well, the result's been a catastrophic collapse in Disney stock. And in fact, I'm trying to figure out if there isn't a class action lawsuit by a stockholder on the grounds that her political decisions have cost them so much money. Meanwhile, Tom Cruise comes along and makes Top Gun Maverick, which is about half of all movie sales this summer. Now, if you're a liberal, Maverick is pro-American, it is pro-defense, the bad guys get shot down, males still have dominant roles. So in almost every characteristic, Tom Cruise is unacceptable if you're a true left-winger. And the movie has to be very jarring because it has all the values you don't believe in. And yet, for the American people, I mean, we have somebody on our team who I think has seen it 2 or 3 times now in the theater and just thinks, they just like it. It's part of, so it's very interesting in that sense that you occasionally have these explosive moments. American Sniper was another example, which was totally pro-American. And I think that jars the left because they really like movies that are anti-American, and they're really made very nervous by movies that are pro-American.
Absolutely. I agree.